Alright, so, greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette. This is Serendipity Weird, and we just saw The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This is going to be the first of hopefully a new thing.
Apparently.
Date night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to make Serendipity watch vampire movies, and possibly werewolf movies, and possibly hunter movies. Let's just stick with the genre.
Let's just stick with the genre.
So, we just saw, this is a review that is going to be completely spoiler-free. We just want to talk about what we thought about the movie and how it coalesces with the world of darkness.
Yeah, I think so.
See how it goes? Yeah.
Sure. We'll see what words come out of our faces.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Last Voyage of the Demeter was a very little-told portion of the Dracula mythos.
That's what you told me, because I've actually never read Dracula. I'm like the worst vampire player ever.
Not, I think people reading Dracula is actually fading into like obscurity.
Possibly.
Like
people reading.
Yeah, well, people reading. But
to be fair.
True. But I think the majority of people who are like VTM fans or World of Darkness fans are comparing it more with like the Anne Rice universe than they are with actually like looking into Dracula and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, and I think that's such a compelling world.
It is.
So
it is, because everything's pretty.
Yes.
But
which is totally not the case in this movie.
Yes, no, it was an ugly movie.
Which was amazing.
But well done ugly. Yeah. Like, it's gritty and
definitely gritty.
Lots of blue tones, and like the cinematography was gorgeous.
Sort of very gray and brown. Like, if I had to be like, what colors like overwhelmingly were in this movie? It was definitely a very darker
movie.
Yeah. When you had me watch the trailer earlier, I had to literally turn the brightness up on my phone to even be able to see it.
It covers a portion of the book that just is... It's brushed over in the book itself.
Right.
It's very little. Like, there's like a tiny little excerpt from Captain Elliot's log, and done.
And that's it.
And that's it. It's just like Tragedy of the Demeter.
Right.
Moving on.
Moving on.
But it's always been the part of the book that intrigued me the best. I want to know what happened on those 4 weeks out at sea. And this answered it.
This definitely filled in some gaps.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what it actually was supposed to fill in. I'm good
it's just how he got from Wallachia to England. Like, it's the thing.
Yeah.
But like I was talking to you about this in the car, is like the Netflix show Dracula, which Netflix and PBS put a collaboration together. It's a 3-episode miniseries that covers the whole thing in a new way.
Okay.
But like the middle episode, the second episode, is 100% everything that happened on the Demeter. And I have been obsessed with the Demeter ever since.
So to have a whole movie is very compelling.
I'm gonna open this for you and me.
Okay.
But right here...
I was curious what the runtime was, actually. Right at 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah, it's right at 2 hours.
That's what it felt like. And honestly, I was here for it. So, a little background in Serendipity trying to watch movies. I often fall asleep during movies. It's very hard for me to watch a movie, and this movie actually had me engaged the entire time. I think because of the emotional... Like, there was a lot to think about. There was a lot to feel. And so I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
There was a incredibly...
Well, if you can enjoyed, huge air quotes.
It is not a movie to be liked. It is a movie to be experienced.
I would say
that is absolutely true. There is a very small cast, and it's in a very small place. And I actually compared it to Alien while we were in the car on the way home, because it's a small group of people in a small area.
In a confined space.
Yeah, and it gives you a sense of claustrophobia.
Point of order, I also haven't seen Alien.
Oh,
so
God.
There's that.
Oh.
I'm the worst person to try to talk about movies.
No, because I want your point of view.
Yeah.
I want your point of view. One thing that you popped up with in the car that was something that, like, I really hadn't thought about it, because I like my horror movies.
Yeah.
Is the fact that there was Corey Hawkins. The actor Corey Hawkins plays the lead, Clemens. Not getting into any storyline at all, but it is nice to see it was a strong male black lead.
Yeah.
And but it wasn't like under a microscope the entire time.
Right.
It was a really good story, and his backstory came up, and it like filled it out and made you go, oh,
made it even better.
This makes so much sense and like means so much more.
Yeah.
Also, it avoided one of the greatest crimes that vampires, specifically Dracula, tends to fall into.
Okay, what's that?
Romance.
Yes.
There is no romance in those books.
You said no spoilers.
That's not a spoiler. I'm not telling you the story. Okay. I'm just saying, like, it's not... It's not gonna be a I've crossed oceans of time to be with you. And I love Bram Stoker's Dracula. I consider it a guilty pleasure movie.
Okay.
Because it's
I should probably see it at some point.
Yeah, we're gonna make me see it. We're gonna do that. Okay. We're gonna do Interview with the Vampire. We're gonna do Queen of the Damned. We're gonna do all 3 versions of Nosferatu.
I wasn't sure. Okay, so real talk. I saw the trailer today for this movie. Yes. And
I've been anticipating this for months.
This one invited me, hey, do you want to come watch it with me? And I was like, this doesn't look like a movie that is enjoyable, fun. It's not fun. From the trailer, it doesn't look fun, but I feel like it could be enjoyable to watch in some facet. And I'm very glad I went. It definitely, it fulfilled my expectations from the trailer in terms of it being more in the horror genre. Yes. Which is not really what I typically do. Yeah. But not in a, what am I trying to say here? It was grotesque, but it wasn't. Oh, it was gross.
It was real. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't overly. It wasn't overly gory.
Right.
There were some gory
there are
parts.
Definitely some cringy freaking parts.
It's a visceral movie.
I was jumping all over the place for some parts. Yeah. But I also enjoyed that. You know, I could just kind of close my eyes for a second and be like, oh, okay.
There were a couple of injuries that I felt serendipity jump for. Yeah. And even I just ooh, that's not good.
But so, if that's kind of your thing, that's there, but then it's also very sort of psychological drama, I felt like, which is I think why I liked it, because it kind of had...
Well, it touched on a lot of modern issues. Without rubbing them in your face. It was something if it's in your head, you'll notice it.
Well, right. I feel like there's somebody out there, right? I'm not an expert in that time period's historical fashion or, shipbuilding or anything like that. But it felt real enough to feel like it was correct, if that makes sense. There wasn't anything blatantly okay, well, that certainly isn't, period sort of thing, which I like. I felt like it was very immersive.
Yes.
The set was really, especially in the beginning when it was, as you're setting the stage as you do at the beginning of a story, right? That the set and the scene really, I wanted to know more about it. It really kind of drew me in.
Agreed.
And it felt like you were in that enclosed space. It's a ship. You're not going to have big expanses of area, except when you're on the deck. Yes. Top deck.
It did actually, it had that sense of claustrophobia, but it also had a sense of solitude at the same time. There were other people on the boat, but they could have been miles away with what was happening. And I love that contrast of feelings.
There was a lot of sort of contrast and I don't know. I felt like it was...
Without getting into the actual
plot. Yeah, I'm trying really hard not to give away details. All right.
Something a little easier since we're kind of
How does it...
We're coming low on time.
Yeah. How does it relate to the world of darkness? Why...
Well, that's actually what I was going to ask is the monster.
Right.
Dracula himself.
The monster.
Because if you know the Demeter, you know Dracula. And that's a thing. There's no
this is
there's no hiding it. There's no... Well, it's in the trailer.
No, this is your spoiler. There's a vampire.
Yeah. It's in the trailer. One of the main characters, who is played by Aisling Francoisi. Am I saying that right?
I don't think so.
The name will be up on the screen. Anyway, she says we call him Dracula.
Right.
Which means she's obviously a villager or a native of Wallachia in some fashion.
Yeah.
So it's freaking Dracula. There's no hiding that.
Well, I mean, it was in the credit or
it's
the
in
opening scene too.
Yeah. But
so monster
design, gorgeous. It was dirty.
Gorgeous. Air quotes.
Gorgeous.
For only his
It was dirty.
It was dirty.
It was visceral.
Yeah.
It was not, I have 2 little knives in my mouth and I'm going to put a little prick on your neck and I'm going to slurp some blood.
No.
It was, I'm using brutal feed.
I said
and
that.
I have 15 physical traits.
Because we had the theater to ourselves. So
oh yeah, it was just
me
and
some moments that I was not shy about making some commentary and you as well. And yeah, there was...
we went to a matinee, so like no one was there.
No one was there. There was a moment where I was like, this is how Giovanni feed. Like, oh. And maybe not, but just the concept of that brutal feed. Because my brain has always, like, really kind of romanticized. I've always definitely been more in the Lestat and Rice sort of, you know, Toreador vibe.
This was not a Toreador movie.
And, I appreciated, you know, seeing this sort of other view of it. And yeah, maybe it's not, you know...
as...
correct for it being a Hakata feeding.
But it, well, I mean, the bite itself is supposed to hurt. This guy isn't waiting to bite.
Yeah.
This guy is ripping in and gorging. So, yeah you're not going to get the kiss with that.
Which I kind of appreciated seeing, to be honest.
Yeah, because everybody's always like, don't scream. Don't scream. I just need a nibble. Like, it's just like that. I just need a nibble. But, like... World of Darkness wise, as a Tzimisce, which Dracula is a member of Clan Tzimisce in World of Darkness, that's a scary Tzimisce.
Yeah.
Elders are scary.
Elders are scary, y'all.
Elders are scary.
I don't know if you know that, but elders are freaking terrifying.
Yes. Like, again, I'm not stepping outside of the trailers at all when I say this, but you got this massive monstrous form beast of a vampire, and it's a beast of a vampire. You could really go, the man's in his horrid form the entire time you see him.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Like, that's fair.
And that's what I, like, as a vampire player, appreciated about it, because I struggle sometimes with, like, visuals, you know? And so I was like, ooh, this is kind of a treasure trove of...
this is how this looks.
Things to, like, envision later when I want to tell a story.
This is what happens when a vampire gets, like, immolated.
Right.
Yeah. They did not pull any punches with the FX. I'm just saying.
This is what, you know, a mouthful of fangs might look like.
And feel like.
You know, there's just a lot of aspects of the character design.
Here's the arrogance of a god.
Right.
Holy crap.
Yeah. That
was... my god, the arrogance of that character. Like, and it takes so long to get there. When you're just like...
I'm glad you actually said that, because I appreciated the pacing of this movie.
Yes.
It definitely, when I left, I'm like, oh, it's like late afternoon.
Yeah.
Huh. You know, that had to have been like a 2-hour flick. And
which is base. But it didn't
it was nice
feel
like that.
It was nice that it wasn't another I'm gonna outright say it. It was nice that it wasn't another 4-hour Marvel adventure.
Right. Because that's
thank you, Universal, for giving us a movie and not like 3 movies of the week crammed into one. And there's a to be continued.
But even
like, at least it didn't have that crap.
Even at 2 hours, though, that can sometimes feel long in a movie. And so I thought the pacing was really well. There weren't any moments that I can remember where I was like, oh my gosh, get on with it, guys.
No, I wasn't bored at all. It didn't give you a chance to get bored, but there was a lot anticipation.
Yeah, the anticipation was really well done too.
And the constant, and again, this is trailers too, so I'm not screwing anybody out of story. The knocking, the constant knocking. Yeah,
I was glad in the trailer. Like there's a totally go watch the trailer. It's a good trailer.
Link in the description to the trailer.
But in the trailer, there's, you know, it kind of sets the stage that there's going to be this thing. And that thing was in the movie. Like, honestly, that, when I saw the trailer this morning, I was kind of like, is this gonna hold up? Because you know, sometimes you see a trailer and you're like, oh well, that was the whole movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
No.
There was lots more.
No, there was so much
only
more
expanded on
character building and anticipation and emotional reinforcement. Like, I've seen the trailer.
Right.
Probably about a half a dozen to a dozen times.
I'm not surprised.
I've been looking forward to this movie. But while watching the movie, I forgot the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, it took me out of my headspace and put me into the movie, and I really appreciate that. They did a really good job with that.
I definitely, think it's worth watching. I'm not sad that I did. I'm not mad I spent my afternoon seeing this movie. So that's something from me, And I think, especially if you're interested in the world of darkness, there's a lot of, like I said, visuals to mine from with it.
It was eye candy, that's for sure. It was dirty eye candy.
Dirty, it was
like dirty eye candy. Visceral.
But not gross.
It was visceral.
Yeah.
Like
that's the word I would put.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But it was great. I would definitely watch it again.
I think I
would. To see what I missed. To see what I missed, because there was so much just shoved in there. There's no way in hell I caught it all.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
going to use this word loosely.
Loosely.
This is for our final thoughts, because we should probably not make these too long.
Yeah.
But loosely, I'm saying this loosely. What was your favorite part? Without giving away story beats. Right.
Honestly, I really just appreciated the way that it was filmed. I tend to have a very, I can be very, pragmatic.
Yeah.
# Virgo. And I can be very focused on details. Mm-hmm. And so there were a couple times where I'm like, but it worked. It didn't. So I really enjoyed the set.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the design of things. Yeah, that's probably, I don't know, watching it was my favorite part. What do you want from me without giving away plot details?
I know, it's hard, isn't it? We'll get better at this.
What's your favorite part?
My favorite part was the complete 180, and I actually don't feel bad saying this because, like I said, the trailer took me out. The movie took me out of my headspace. The trailer put me into.
Okay.
But the complete 180 with exactly who, how, what, where, when, and why, all the questions on Dracula himself. That movie just gave me an expectation. It let me see him for what it was. Not even a person. Just this hungry,
the beast,
feeding beast.
I really feel like, again, wrapping it back to the World of Darkness aspect, if you want to know, if you want to better encapsulate or brain lock, I don't know, grok, I can't think of the word here. Grok. If you better want to kind of comprehend what that beast is I feel like watching this movie would give you a good insight into the concept of the beast.
And then the movie will turn that on its head.
Yeah, it'll be great.
And that was really it. But,
it's good times.
Yeah, so Last Voyage of the Demeter just came out. Today was actually its first day. We went to the first showing, which was really fun, being empty. That not saying anything bad about the movie at all. We went, like I said, matinee on the first showing. That's not a
movie I would expect. I don't expect that there's going to be tons of people not because it's kind of a genre-specific thing.
In Fort Myers...
Maybe.
Florida.
Yeah.
Which everybody knows that I live in Fort Myers, Florida. I don't hold that back. I do. In Fort Myers, Florida, we are a zombie, werewolf, and vampire people.
Right.
This is a city that will fill up to watch that movie tonight. Possibly, as soon as the sun goes down. The reason we got so lucky is because the sun was up. 1:50 in the afternoon. 1:50 in the afternoon. No, nobody.
At a little theater.
Yeah, at a little theater. At a little theater. But seriously, tonight, every movie theater is going to be packed in this city. Yes, okay. That's because cool. This movie appreciates.
The city appreciates its horror. Okay.
Because this is where Day of the Dead was filmed.
Yeah, there is that.
This
that does add a like.
It really does. There's a layer, like you even get like
we're on such a tangent
right
now.
You even get the older like church going elderly people who are like, let's go watch someone get slaughtered. Like that's this city, and I love it. So yeah. Anyway.
So do we have any weird rating systems? I think we have plans for future potential.
I want to do a rating system based on just like best to worst, truthfully.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're going to have to keep track of. So right now, I would say, as far as date night goes, this is the number one movie because it's the first movie.
It's the only one we've reviewed.
I think what we're going to do is it's towards the top here, right here. What I'm going to do is put this movie like all the way over here. And then the next movie will go there, and I'll just put like the posters of the movie tiny.
Okay.
And then like as we like them, we'll just move them over a little bit.
I think like if I were gonna try to rate this in some fashion, I would just kind of look at whether like is it worth viewing if you're into the world of darkness and if you're into vampire and that kind of thing. And I think that this is I don't know if I would maybe label it required watching. Like,
really?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Because it really did help me, like, it opened some ideas. While I wouldn't, like, say that he embodies, like, a Nosferatu entirely, but it gave me ideas for, like, the grotesqueness and the repulsiveness.
Yeah, I don't think he embodies a Nosferatu either, but I do believe that this movie was a wonderful update and callback to Nosferatu, which was a ripoff of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Which I've also never seen.
Which we will fix. We will get there.
We will get there? But, I do think it's relevant for anybody who's into these games.
Yes.
To watch. Whereas I don't think that that's true of every vampire movie ever.
No.
You know, some of them I'm sure are just like kind of cheesy fun and whatever.
Yeah, like Nightbreed.
This was gritty though.
This was gritty. This was fun. This was very World of Darkness-esque. And it was a period piece, which I always appreciate.
Yeah, I appreciate.
So, especially when it's done well.
Yeah.
So, I think that's it.
Yeah, sure.
So, thank you for joining us with our review of The Last Voyage of the Demeter on the first episode of Date Night. I don't know how often these are going to come out, but I am going to try to like push this one to watch more movies with me anyway.
And we'll see if I fall asleep. That could be a rating scale.
Yeah.
Did Sarah fall asleep during this one?
This one? No. You did really good.
Yeah,
watched the whole thing.
I did. I saw the whole thing.
All right.
Except for when I closed my eyes because it was...
I think I might have fallen asleep, but that's just because I was really tired and like the sound of the ocean just gets me. Like I took me like 6 times to watch Castaway.
There you go.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. I am Voivode Maquette. This is Serendipity Weird, or Ser as they're going by right now, and we will see you at the next date night.